Hey everyone, welcome back to Better English. I'm Emma.
And I'm Leo, and today we have something really special and incredibly inspiring to share with you.
We do. Today we're going to talk about a truly remarkable TEDx talk given by a young man named Sam Berns and his philosophy for living a happy life.
This talk is so powerful, Emma. I have to admit, when I first watched it, I had tears in my eyes by the end.
Me too. And what makes it so special is that Sam was only 17 years old when he gave this talk, but his wisdom and perspective on life are just extraordinary.
Absolutely. And before we dive in, I should mention that Sam had a very rare disease called Progeria, which affects only about 350 kids worldwide.
Right. Progeria causes rapid aging in children. Kids with this condition face many physical challenges. They don't gain weight normally, they have heart problems, their growth is stunted.
But here's what's remarkable. Sam didn't let this define him. He didn't spend his time feeling sorry for himself or focusing on what he couldn't do.
Exactly. And that's what we're going to explore today. His philosophy for happiness, which honestly, I think everyone can learn from, regardless of whether they face major obstacles or not.
Absolutely. And this episode is perfect for intermediate English learners. We're going to break down Sam's ideas, discuss the vocabulary he used, and talk about how we can apply his philosophy to our own lives.
So let's start at the beginning. Sam opens his talk by sharing a story about wanting to play the snare drum in his high school marching band.
Right, and this is such a perfect example of his approach to life. The snare drum weighs about 40 pounds, and Sam only weighed about 50 pounds.
So physically, it was almost impossible for him to carry a regular snare drum. Most people would just accept that and give up on the dream, right?
Exactly, but Sam didn't. He and his family worked with an engineer to design a special lightweight harness that weighed only 6 pounds instead of 40.
And eventually, he achieved his dream. He played snare drum with the marching band. There's even a video clip in his talk of him performing the Spider-Man theme song.
I love this story because it shows his whole philosophy in action right from the start. He didn't focus on the obstacle, he focused on finding a solution.
Exactly. And this brings us to Sam's three-part philosophy for a happy life. Are you ready to break it down?
Let's do it. So the first part of his philosophy is be okay with what you ultimately can't do, because there's so much you can do.
This is so important. He starts with a quote from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
I love that movie, but what does this have to do with Sam's philosophy?
Well, I think the connection is about appreciating what you have instead of dwelling on what you don't have. Life is happening right now, and if you're too focused on your limitations, you'll miss all the good stuff.
That makes sense. And Sam talks about how people often ask him, isn't it hard living with progeria, or what daily challenges do you face?
Right, and his response is so interesting. He says that even though he has progeria, most of his time is spent thinking about things that have nothing to do with progeria at all.
He focuses on his passions, scouting, music, comic books, Boston sports teams, normal teenager stuff.
Exactly, and he makes an important distinction here. He's not ignoring the negative aspects. He acknowledges what he's missing out on, like running long distances or going on intense roller coasters.
But he chooses to focus on what he can do instead of what he can't do.
Right, and when he can't do something the normal way, he finds adaptations. Like with the snare drum, he put it in the can-do category by making adjustments.
This is such a powerful mindset. I think we all do this to some extent, but we don't always realize it.
What do you mean?
Well, think about it. Everyone has limitations. Maybe you're not tall enough to play professional basketball, or you don't have a talent for singing, or you're afraid of heights so you can't be a pilot.
That's true. We all have things we can't do.
Exactly. But most people don't spend their days being miserable about it. They focus on what they can do, what they're good at, what makes them happy.
Right. Sam's just being very conscious and intentional about it. He's making it a deliberate choice.
And I think that's the key, being intentional. When you consciously choose to focus on possibilities rather than limitations, it changes your whole perspective.
Absolutely. So that's the first part of his philosophy. What's the second part?
The second part is surround yourself with people you want to be with, people of high quality.
I love this one. And Sam talks about how lucky he is to have an amazing family and a close group of friends at school.
He describes his friend group as kind of goofy, a lot of band geeks, but they really enjoy each other's company.
And he says something really beautiful. They see each other for who they are on the inside.
That's so important, especially for someone with a visible physical condition like progeria. His friends don't focus on his appearance or his limitations.
Right. They focus on who he is as a person, his humor, his interests, his character.
And Sam makes this great point about being in the band. He says the music they make together is true, genuine, and it supersedes progeria.
Supersedes. That means it goes beyond it. It's more important than it.
Exactly. When he's making music with his friends, progeria just isn't relevant. It doesn't matter.
That's beautiful. And he talks about how even though he made a documentary and went on TV several times, he feels at his highest point when he's with the people who surround him every day.
Those everyday relationships, those are what really matter.
Exactly. Not the fame or the attention, but the genuine connections with family and friends.
And then he gives this advice to the audience. Appreciate and love your family. Love your friends. Acknowledge your mentors and your community.
Because they make a real, significant, positive impact on your life.
This reminds me of something I read once, that happiness isn't about what you have or what you achieve. It's about the quality of your relationships.
Oh, I've heard that too. And there's actually research backing this up. The Harvard study of adult development followed people for over 75 years.
And what did they find?
Right. Sam's just being very conscious and intentional about it. He's making it a deliberate choice.
And I think that's the key, being intentional. When you consciously choose to focus on possibilities rather than limitations, it changes your whole perspective.
Absolutely. So that's the first part of his philosophy. What's the second part?
The second part is surround yourself with people you want to be with, people of high quality.
I love this one. And Sam talks about how lucky he is to have an amazing family and a close group of friends at school.
He describes his friend group as kind of goofy, a lot of band geeks, but they really enjoy each other's company.
And he says something really beautiful. They see each other for who they are on the inside.
That's so important, especially for someone with a visible physical condition like progeria. His friends don't focus on his appearance or his limitations.
Right. They focus on who he is as a person, his humor, his interests, his character.
And Sam makes this great point about being in the band. He says the music they make together is true, genuine, and it supersedes progeria.
Supersedes. That means it goes beyond it. It's more important than it.
Exactly. When he's making music with his friends, progeria just isn't relevant. It doesn't matter.
That's beautiful. And he talks about how even though he made a documentary and went on TV several times, he feels at his highest point when he's with the people who surround him every day.
Those everyday relationships, those are what really matter.
Exactly. Not the fame or the attention, but the genuine connections with family and friends.
And then he gives this advice to the audience. Appreciate and love your family. Love your friends. Acknowledge your mentors and your community.
Because they make a real, significant, positive impact on your life.
This reminds me of something I read once, that happiness isn't about what you have or what you achieve. It's about the quality of your relationships.
Oh, I've heard that too. And there's actually research backing this up. The Harvard study of adult development followed people for over 75 years.
And what did they find?
That the quality of people's relationships was the biggest predictor of their happiness and health. Not wealth, not fame, not career success, relationships.
So Sam, at 17 years old, had already figured out what it took scientists 75 years of research to confirm.
Exactly. Although I think he probably learned it from his family. He mentions several times how supportive and amazing they are.
That's true. Good relationships teach you the value of good relationships.
Exactly. Okay, so what's the third part of Sam's philosophy?
The third part is keep moving forward.
And he quotes Walt Disney here. Keep moving forward.
Sam says he always tries to have something to look forward to, something to strive for to make his life richer.
And it doesn't have to be something big. It could be anything from the next comic book coming out to a family vacation to just hanging out with friends or going to a football game.
I really appreciate that he includes small things on that list, because I think sometimes people think they need huge goals to be happy.
Right. Like, I'll be happy when I get married, or I'll be happy when I make $1 million, or I'll be happy when I retire.
But Sam's saying that happiness comes from having things to look forward to, big and small. The anticipation itself brings joy.
Exactly. And these things keep him focused and remind him that there's a bright future ahead, even during difficult times.
He also talks about staying in a forward-thinking state of mind.
Right. He tries not to waste energy feeling bad for himself, because when he does, he gets stuck in a paradox where there's no room for happiness or any other emotion.
A paradox, that's a contradiction or a situation that doesn't make logical sense.
Right. Like if all your energy is going toward feeling bad, there's literally no energy left for feeling good.
And he makes this important clarification. He's not ignoring negative feelings. He acknowledges them, lets them in, and then moves past them.
That's such a mature approach. A lot of adults don't even do this well.
I know. Most people either suppress negative feelings completely or they get overwhelmed by them.
But Sam has this balanced approach. Acknowledge the feeling, accept it, and then move forward.
And this connects to the whole keep moving forward philosophy. You can't move forward if you're stuck dwelling on the past or on negative emotions.
Exactly. Sam also talks about his ambitions and dreams for the future. When he was younger, he wanted to be an engineer and inventor.
Because he loved Legos and the freedom of expression he felt when building with them.
That's so sweet. But by the time of this talk, his ambitions had changed. He was interested in biology, maybe cell biology, genetics, or biochemistry.
And he says something beautiful. I feel that no matter what I choose to become, I believe I can change the world. And as I'm striving to change the world, I will be happy.
Wow, that's powerful. It's not about achieving the goal that will make him happy. It's the striving itself.
The journey, not the destination.
Exactly. And this is so important because we often think, I'll be happy when I achieve this goal.
But then you achieve it and you're not as happy as you thought you'd be. Or the happiness doesn't last.
Right. Because happiness comes from the process, from growth, from moving towards something meaningful.
Sam definitely understood this at a deep level.
He really did. Now, there's a part of his talk where he shows a clip from an HBO documentary that was made about him and his family.
Right. The documentary is called Life According to Sam, and it was filmed about 4 years before his TEDx talk.
And in the clip, young Sam talks about how his understanding of progeria has changed. Instead of seeing it as this terrible thing that prevents him from doing stuff, he now sees it as a protein abnormality that weakens cells.
It's a much more scientific, clinical understanding.
Right. And he says this takes a burden off him because he doesn't have to think about progeria as an entity, as this big, scary thing. It's just a biological process.
That's a really sophisticated way of dealing with a difficult situation. By understanding it scientifically, he takes away some of its emotional power.
Exactly. Knowledge is power in a way.
Absolutely. And you can see that Sam had been thinking this way for years, even as a young teenager.
But then he talks about a time when he really had to apply his philosophy all at once, when he was sick with a chest cold and had to be in the hospital.
He was secluded from all the aspects of his life that made him feel like himself, that gave him his identity.
But he knew he would get better, and looking forward to feeling good again helped him keep moving forward.
And he admits that sometimes he had to be brave, and it wasn't always easy. Sometimes he faltered and had bad days.
But he realized that being brave isn't supposed to be easy. That's what makes it bravery.
Such wisdom. And for him, being brave is the key way to keep moving forward.
So let's recap his philosophy one more time. Part 1. Be okay with what you ultimately can't do, because there is so much you can do.
Part 2. Surround yourself with people of high quality who make you feel good.
Part 3. Keep moving forward. Always have something to look forward to.
And if you follow this philosophy, Sam believes you can have a very happy life, regardless of your obstacles.
And then, at the very end of his talk, he adds one more piece of advice.
Oh yes, never miss a party if you can help it.
He mentions that his school's homecoming dance is the next night, and he'll definitely be there.
I love that ending. It's lighthearted and fun, but it also reinforces his whole message about enjoying life and being present for the good moments.
Exactly. Don't waste time feeling sorry for yourself. Go to the party, have fun, live your life.
So, Emma, now that we've gone through Sam's philosophy, what are your thoughts? How does it resonate with you?
Honestly, I find it incredibly inspiring and also a bit humbling. Here's this 17-year-old kid facing challenges that most of us can't even imagine, and he has a more positive outlook than many adults I know.
Right? It really puts things in perspective.
It does. Like, I think about the times I've gotten upset over small things: bad traffic, a rude comment, a disappointing meal at a restaurant, and I realize how trivial those things are.
We all do that, though. It's human nature to focus on the negative sometimes.
True, but Sam's example shows us that we have a choice in how we respond to difficulties. We can focus on what's wrong, or we can focus on what's possible.
And I love that his philosophy isn't about toxic positivity either. He's not saying just be happy all the time or ignore your problems.
No, he's very realistic. He acknowledges the obstacles, accepts negative feelings when they come, but then deliberately chooses to move forward.
It's about being intentional with your focus and your energy.
Exactly. And I think the second part of his philosophy, surrounding yourself with good people, is something we often underestimate.
How so?
Well, we spend so much time worrying about our careers, our possessions, our achievements, but how much time do we spend cultivating good relationships?
That's a great point. Relationships take effort and time.
They do, and Sam clearly prioritized that. His family, his friends, his band, those relationships were central to his happiness.
And probably to his resilience, too. When he was in the hospital, knowing he had people who cared about him must have helped him get through it.
Absolutely. Social support is so important for mental and even physical health.
What about the third part? Keep moving forward. How do you relate to that?
I think this one is really relevant for anyone going through a difficult time. When you're struggling, it's easy to get stuck in that moment, to feel like things will never get better.
But Sam's advice is to always have something to look forward to.
Right. And it doesn't have to be something huge. Even small things give you a reason to keep going.
I actually tried this recently. I was having a really stressful week at work, and I planned a movie night with friends for Friday.
And did it help?
It really did. Even on the worst days, I could think, just get through today. Movie night is coming.
See, that's exactly what Sam is talking about. Having something to anticipate gives you hope and motivation.
And it shifts your focus from the present difficulty to future possibility.
Exactly. Now, I want to talk about something else that struck me about Sam's talk, his language and how he communicated.
Oh, good point. For our English learners, there's a lot to learn from how Sam presented his ideas.
Right. First of all, he used very clear structure. 3 parts to his philosophy, each one explained with examples.
That makes it easy for the audience to follow and remember.
Exactly. And he used personal stories to illustrate abstract concepts, like the snare drum story showing his problem-solving approach.
Stories are so much more engaging than just stating ideas.
They are. And he used quotes from famous people, Ferris Bueller, Walt Disney, which added authority and connected his ideas to broader cultural references.
He also used humor. The bit at the end about never missing a party got a big laugh.
Right. Humor makes your message more memorable and likable.
And I noticed he was very honest and vulnerable. He admitted that being brave isn't easy, that he has bad days.
That vulnerability actually makes him more credible and relatable.
Exactly. If he had presented himself as always happy and never struggling, people wouldn't believe him or connect with him.
But by being honest about the difficulties while still maintaining an overall positive message, he comes across as authentic.
For our listeners who might give presentations or talks in English, Sam's speech is a great model to study.
Absolutely. Clear structure, personal stories, quotes, humor, vulnerability, and authenticity.
Those are the ingredients of a powerful talk.
Now, I want to discuss something that's important context for this talk. Sam Berns passed away in 2014, just a few months after giving this TEDx talk.
He was only 17 years old.
Which makes this talk even more poignant. These were essentially his final words of wisdom to the world.
And what a legacy to leave. This video has millions of views and has inspired countless people.
It has. And I think knowing that he passed away so young makes his philosophy even more powerful.
Because he lived it fully, right until the end.
Exactly. He didn't just talk about keeping moving forward and not wasting energy on negativity. He actually lived that way.
Even when he must have known his time was limited.
Right.
And I think that's what makes this talk so much more than just inspirational content. It's a real example of human resilience and choosing joy in the face of mortality.
We're all mortal, of course, but most of us don't have to confront that reality as directly as Sam did.
True. And yet he chose to focus on living well, not on dying.
That takes incredible courage and wisdom.
It does. And I think his message is universal. Regardless of what obstacles we face, we can choose how we respond.
We can choose our focus, choose our company, choose to keep moving forward.
Exactly. So Leo, let me ask you, after learning about Sam's philosophy, is there anything you want to change in your own life?
That's a good question. I think I want to be more intentional about surrounding myself with positive people.
How so?
Well, I realize I sometimes spend time with people out of obligation or habit, even if those relationships don't really bring me joy or growth.
Ah, so you want to be more selective.
Not in a mean way, but yes, I want to invest my time and energy in relationships that are mutually supportive and positive.
That's Sam's second principle in action.
Exactly. What about you? What will you take away from this?
I think I need to work on the keep moving forward part. I tend to dwell on mistakes or disappointments.
Oh, I do that too sometimes.
Yeah, and Sam's approach of acknowledging the feeling but then moving past it, I want to practice that more.
That's a great goal. It's hard to do, though.
It is, but I think having that framework helps. When I notice myself dwelling, I can remind myself, okay, acknowledge it, feel it, now move forward.
And maybe have something to look forward to that can help shift your focus.
Exactly, even something small.
I love how applicable his philosophy is. It's not complicated or requiring special circumstances.
No, anyone can apply these principles. You don't need money or special resources or perfect circumstances.
You just need to make choices about where you put your attention and energy.
That's empowering, actually. It means happiness is at least partially within our control.
Not completely, of course. Sam faced real, serious obstacles.
Right. We're not saying positive thinking solves everything.
But it does influence how you experience your life.
Exactly. Two people could face the same situation and have completely different experiences based on their mindset and approach.
And that's what Sam demonstrated so beautifully.
He really did. Okay, let's do a final summary for our listeners of Sam's three-part philosophy.
Great idea. Number 1, be okay with what you ultimately can't do, because there is so much you can do. Focus on possibilities, not limitations.
Number 2, surround yourself with people of high quality. Invest in relationships with family, friends, mentors, and community members who see you for who you really are and support you.
Number 3, keep moving forward. Always have something to look forward to, big or small. Don't waste energy dwelling on negative feelings. Acknowledge them and move past them.
And bonus advice, never miss a party if you can help it.
Live your life, enjoy the good moments, be present.
Exactly. And I just want to say, if you haven't watched Sam's full TEDx talk, I highly recommend it. It's called My Philosophy for a Happy Life.
Yes, please watch it. We've talked about the content, but seeing Sam actually deliver this message is incredibly moving.
It really is. You can see his joy, his humor, his wisdom shining through.
And for our English learners, it's also great listening practice. Sam speaks clearly, and his message is easy to follow.
Perfect for intermediate level. And there are subtitles available if you need them.
So definitely check it out, and then come back and let us know what you think.
Yes, we'd love to hear which part of Sam's philosophy resonates most with you.
And maybe share how you're applying it in your own life.
That would be wonderful. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for listening to this episode.
This was a special one for us. Sam's story and philosophy are truly inspiring.
They are, and I hope everyone takes something meaningful away from this.
Me too. So until next time, remember, focus on what you can do. Surround yourself with good people and keep moving forward.
And never miss a party if you can help it.
Perfect. All right, everyone, take care.
Bye.
Bye.